Watching footage of the Unrivaled players has been intense. Get ready for part 2. Hello folks and welcome to Dummy Run Sports. I am your host Brody Hessen, and today I want to go through the evening slate of teams for the opening day of the Unrivaled 3v3 Women's Basketball League. Last time I broke down the Mist, Hive, Vinyl, and the Laces basketball clubs. The rosters in that video were something else.
It's joyful and triumphant.
And now we finally get to the main attraction. Wait until you see the rosters in today's episode.
Oh, I love it even more.
January 5th is opening day starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then the evening games begin at 8 p.m. Eastern. The first evening matchup is between the Lunar Owls and the Rose BC. So let's start by breaking down the Unrivaled co-founder Nafisa Collier's team, the Lunar Owls. The Lunar Owls are my dark horse team. I don't really know what to expect with the rotations, and I think other teams will have to be ready for anything going against this team. The big name starters on this team are Nafisa Collier and Skylar Diggins. Then you have Marina Mayberry and Aaliyah Edwards from Connecticut, and Beck Allen and Rachel Bannum from Chicago. Maybe I'm hesitant with this team because 4 of the players are from teams that struggled this past season in the WNBA. However, it doesn't discredit how good these players truly are. Marina Mayberry missed some games with injury this past year, but she plays with an edge and she is a lights-out shooter when she's hot, and was number 6 in assists per game this past year. She did get some games with Aaliyah Edwards this year once Edwards arrived from Washington, so hopefully there will be some built-in chemistry at the start of the season for those two. I was bummed to see Edwards leave DC because she was one of my favorites on that team, but I do think there's a lot more opportunities for her in Connecticut being a young big. She's going to be a good fit off the bench when Fee needs to sit. Her size down low will be a big help against some of the bigger teams. Next, you have the duo from Chicago, and again, it's hard to say anyone in Chicago had a good year last year, but Rebecca Allen and Rachel Bannum were beacons of light for the team. Chicago had players in and out all year with injuries, and Beck and Rachel were 2 players who played all 44 games last year, which is impressive. Both have excellent veteran experience and basketball awareness. Beck is a 3-and-D player who I think sees the floor very well, and Rachel Bannum became Chicago's best offensive threat after Courtney Vandersloot went out with her knee injury. Again, I think having 2 players on a roster of 6 who played the last 44 games together is a huge benefit at the start of the season. The big names on the Lunar Owls are Nafisa Collier and Skylar Diggins. Skylar has a deep desire to win, and her level of compete is second to a very few in the WNBA. She is built for big moments with the ball in her hands. In Seattle this year, she finished number 12 in overall points in the WNBA, number 4 in assists, and top 20 in steals and blocks. Her full court threat makes her dangerous at all times, and she can shoot from anywhere on the floor. Finally, Fee is truly one of one.
We're alike, you and I.
Defensively, she was number 11 in rebounds per game and top 5 in steals and blocks per game. Like her co-founder Brianna Stewart, she has the ability to carry her team on her back. In the 2025 inaugural season of Unrivaled, she also won the mid-season one-on-one tournament. So she's not just a bunch of impressive stats, she can also ball as well. As I said, I think this is my dark horse team because there is so much potential. I just don't know which direction they will go. You have 2 players like Fee and Skylar who will probably be your starters, with 2 duos from Connecticut and Chicago who will have built-in chemistry. Plus, you have a pair of big defenders with Edwards and Allen, and a pair of hot-handed 3-point shooters in Rachel and Marina. So there's a lot of mixing and matching and flexibility that this team will be able to play with. Next up is the Rose Basketball Club, who is going to be a very fun team to keep an eye on this season. They are a very balanced team with veteran leadership and Spitfire youth. Starting with leadership, Chelsea Gray, the magician, the magic maker, the point god. Chelsea Gray is a walking highlight reel. number 6 in assists, and number 4 in steals, along with being top 20 in blocks last year. Gray can make anything happen, and her competitive drive is a huge reason Las Vegas won the championship last year. The amount of space on the floor in this 3v3 full court game makes Chelsea Gray the most dangerous woman in Miami, mostly because Chelsea Gray will be quarterbacking the ball to players like Kahleah Copper. Copper spent her whole year receiving line drive passes down low from the other women's basketball wizard, Alyssa Thomas. Kahleah is only 6'1", but plays much longer. She can reach out and grab any pass beyond the fingertips of any defender in the league. She appears so fast and so sneakily behind defenses that it should be investigated by the Ministry of Magic.
I will have order.
The combination of her and Gray is going to be diabolical, and I expect loads of highlights from them this year. Another dangerous high-energy player for the Rose BC is Lexi Hall. Lexi has a knack of making big buckets in momentum-shifting moments. Not only that, but her offensive rebounding skills will be very helpful in keeping plays alive in this fast-paced game. Her will to make the extra effort every play makes her a standout player for me. Plus, she is unusually good at drawing offensive fouls, which to me signals that she really studies other teams' tendencies and then is willing to get into the gritty spaces and draw the contact. On the defensive end of things, you have 6'6" Azrae Stevens. Z had an impressive season with the LA Sparks and finished number 5 in overall rebounds and number 6 in blocks. This was all while shooting an effective field goal percentage of 56%. Over the last year, Azrae has elevated her game and at times really unlocked another level in her game, and I would like to see more of that in this season of Unrivaled. I also think that the opportunities will be there often for Z to shift into the next gear and be really impressive in this lineup. Finishing off this Rose lineup, we have 2 Washington teammates in Shakira Austin and Shug Sutton. Shakira Austin is a really balanced player with great size. Being 6'5" and a physical paint player, she gives a different look to the offense compared to 6'6" Azrae Stevens, who is a bit more of a perimeter player. She is a very good rebounder and a defender and shot just under 50% on 2-pointers last year. She adds a 1v1 bully ball edge to this fairly ball movement centric lineup. Shug Sutton, like Lexi Hall, is an energy player willing to put in the extra effort to make plays happen. She shot just under 50% EFG last year, and she has the added bonus of being an alternative point guard to Chelsea Gray. Shug has great ball movement skills and was second to Brittany Sykes in assists for the Mystics last year. Overall, I really like how the Rose BC is built. They have the it factor with Chelsea Gray and Kahleah Copper, but they also have a lot of flexibility in their rotation. Shug and Lexi are similar in style and the energy that they bring off the bench, but one is more defensive and the other is more offensive. You have 2 big tall trees on defense, but one brings a perimeter threat and the other one is down low for offense. This is a very coachable team, and I think other teams are going to have a hard time forcing them to play one way. The final matchup on opening day is the main event.
It is with deepest pride and greatest pleasure that we welcome you tonight.
The Phantom versus the Breeze are 2 star-studded teams that guarantee a flashy, athletic spectacle for the ages. The Phantom's roster starts with one of my favorite all-time players, Kelsey Plum. I think this team is going to run through KP, and she definitely has the experience and leadership to take this team all the way to the playoffs. Last year, she was number 1 in overall minutes played in the WNBA. This gave her ample game time to rack up 3rd in points and 5th in assists. She did all this while defensively finishing top 20 in steals. Lots of those points and assists came thanks to her elite teammate, Dearica Hamby, where they utilized an elegant 2-man game for lots of the season. Teams often have to double Kelsey on defense, but in this 3v3 format, teams will be forced to go one-on-one with her, which will give her acres of space to make some filthy plays on offense. KP is at her best when the game is joyful for her, and she is able to add a little showmanship to her game. This format will suit her perfectly, and I think she will be a fan favorite this year as well as a deadly weapon for the Phantom. Why I think this team will be a force to reckon with is because KP will be paired up with another elite paint player for a ridiculously ferocious 2-man game. Aaliyah Boston is becoming a problem for other teams in the WNBA. She has always been a very good player after going first overall in the 2023 draft, but this past year she took her game to another level with her physicality and her confidence in being a dominant player. As players were coming in and out of the Fever due to injury, she was a pillar of strength down low for them. AB finished top 20 in points, assists, steals, and blocks, and was top 5 in rebounds. That is a dominant player in all aspects of the game. As an added bonus, AB played with left-handed Kelsey Mitchell for the Fever. This means all of AB's tendencies and habits for pick and rolls and blocking down low for layups will transfer seamlessly as she plays with one of the most dominant lefties in the game, Kelsey Plum. With KP and AB in this lineup, it was already going to be a two-headed monster for other teams to try and game plan for, and that's before I introduce this next player. Satou Sabally adds yet another dimension to this already complex offensive front. Satou elevated her game this year when she transferred over to the Phoenix Mercury. Her dominating 6'4" frame makes her a defensive threat, but Satou is known for her perimeter shooting. The Phantom have the ability to have a dominating big lineup with 6'5" Aaliyah Boston in the paint, shifty ankle breaker 5'8" Kelsey Plum as the point guard, and the impossible to block 6'4" Satou Sabally around the perimeter. To be able to have that impressive of a lineup is one thing, but then to have a veteran downhill player like Natasha Cloud elevates this roster even more. Cloud adds speed, overall awareness, and the ability to attack the rim. With her experience, she is always in the right place at the right time defensively to make steals, and then has the ability to read defenses and move the ball efficiently. She finished 9th overall in assists last year for the WNBA. If the Phantom want to go small with Cloud, KP, and AB, this will be a fast, shifty offense with great playmaking vision. Not to be outdone in the fast, shifty playmaker category, Dana Evans will most likely come off the bench for the Phantom when they want to push pace even more. Dana just won the championship with the Vegas Aces, and she was described by her teammates as the secret sauce of the team, which is high praise when you look at the Vegas roster. Evans is a good like-for-like sub for both Plum and Cloud, but easily has the skill set and ability to be a starting guard as well. Finally, and definitely not least, we have standout rookie Kiki Iriafen rounding out this already impressive lineup. I think in 2 years, everybody will be talking about Kiki Iriafen the same way we are talking about her teammate, Aaliyah Boston. They are very similar players who both had very impressive rookie years. I think it's going to be really beneficial in Kiki's early development that she gets this time to play with Boston. If Kiki takes her already physical presence and adds a 10% Boston influence, she is going to be a top center for years to come. I do not think I need to reiterate how much potential I think this team has. I think the only question is, how hot do they start the season? After all that star power on the Phantom, you might be wondering how I could possibly top that with the final team of opening night. Well, my friends, let me introduce you to a little up-and-coming player named Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers is headlining the Breeze BC's roster. Paige seemed to break every rookie record this year, as well as resetting career highs all the way through the 2025 season. Besides her legendary scoring and assist abilities, she finished number 7 in overall steals, which really makes her a versatile threat in a game that rewards fast play and quick scoring. Speaking of quick scoring, Paige has one of the smoothest pull-up jumpers in the WNBA, and I expect her midi to be a lethal shot against most defenses. Of course, this is a 3v3 league, so as much as I'm sure Paige could do it all by herself, she will be surrounded by many amazing players, including Rickea Jackson. Rickea has a long ball to back up Paige's mid-range darts. She shot just under 50% effective field goal percentage and has the ability to swing the momentum of the game within just a few plays. I think off-ball movement will be key for her in this format because when she gets open, she is at her most dangerous. Another player that swung momentum in games last year and got crowds on their feet was Kate Martin. Martin feeds off energy and, like so many players in the Unrivaled League, brings energy off the bench. Kate's skill for hitting the opportune 3 that is the final dagger for the other team is very impressive. Kate's secret weapon is her ability to understand the moment in games and make the players around her better. I think she will be the X factor for this roster. Finally, on offense, the Breeze has point guard Ari McDonald. Ari had a remarkable season transferring into the Indiana Fever when Caitlin Clark went out with injury. She turned her 7-day contract into a how do we get this girl on our team player. Shooting over 50% for 2-pointers and averaging 5 assists per game, she was a lifesaver for the Fever this year. I picture Ari paired up with Paige when they want extreme pace. Otherwise, I think she will be a super effective sub for Paige. Getting into the two defensive players, first we have the 19-year-old French phenom, Dom Malanga. Dom shot 57% for twos this year. Not only is she tall at 6'6", but she is extremely long. You can't put the ball too high for her on a pass into the paint. She will go up and get it, and she will score. Malanga was also a top 20 blocker and a rebounding machine. Oh, yeah, she can also dunk as well. And finally, to bookend with fellow center Dom Malanga, Cameron Brink. Yes, Cam Brink finishes off this young celebrity lineup. Cam came back last year from a year-long ACL recovery and was just finding her groove when the WNBA season ended. I am excited to see her get to play way more and way more consistently in this fast format. When Cameron Brink blocks shots, she doesn't just block shots. She makes you wish you never picked up basketball in the first place. She lives to block shots and is known for her three-point threat on the other end of the court. I think Dom and her will rotate being starters or even both come in when the Breeze needs to bulk up defensively. Overall, this Breeze team is the poster child for the Unrivaled League, with every player being a fan favorite. They should be wrapping these players up in bubble wrap on their days off and labeling them as precious cargo.
I'm some kind of bubble boy.
How do you take a dump in that thing?
The Breeze is by far the youngest team in the league this year. Calling Kate Martin old is hilarious, but she is one of the oldest players on this roster. I think any one player on this team can take over and be a game changer, and it will be exciting to see what combos and rotations create the most chemistry. Okay, those are the final teams for the 2026 Unrivaled season. Who are you excited to watch, and what teams will you be cheering for? Let me know down in the comments. And don't forget the season begins January 5th on True TV, TNT Sports, and HBO Max. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and comment below, and if you like silly and insightful discussions and analysis of women's sports, this channel might be for you. Okay, see ya.